for.
This is going to be quite interesting here because Harley, again, a very early game mage, does a lot of damage, especially if you throw him into the jungle, gets that early lead to start pushing the direction of the team. And during team fights, it can be very devastating. So let's see how Anti-Blitzkrieg is going to deal with this because they used Harley within their wild card bracket and even against Buddha Anko yesterday, if you weren't watching. But looking at the bans, Xborg, Farsa, followed up by Hayabusa, and as well as Benedetta. Anti-Blitzkrieg on the red side, Pasti Menang on the blue side. So 2 picks from Anti-Blitzkrieg, and there you go, Saber already locked in without a question in their mind.
I love it. They have the exact same idea. It's more of like who can outdo one another and who comes up with the biggest advantage. And oh boy, Hanzo! Okay, we haven't seen this for a tad bit. So let's see where exactly will this Hanzo go, because we do see him time to time going jungle, just stealing camps away, and then
it's not the only thing.
Ganks. Okay. You're reading that word spot on for today. We got Sun coming up online.
Let's go!
Oh, yeah. Alongside with Matilda. I'm a happy kid right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get to see this kind of bands or even picks coming into some national finals, but here we are. The also did mention Kagura being pretty much a very solid pick. And that's where Anti-Blitzkrieg will be able to secure it for themselves. Now, going in towards the second phase, I see maybe a little bit of lack of tankiness coming in from both sides, or you could just argue that, yeah, you can convert Sun to, a semi-tank build where you can actually go in pretty efficiently.
Or a full tank build. Getting that Thunderbolt, getting that on-hit damage is really important for Sun because his doppelgangers actually benefit from that on-hit damage as well. So they all collectively, if one person triggers Endless Battle or even Thunderbolt, all of the doppelgangers get that as well. So it gets a little crazy once you started adding the numbers. But Anti-Blitzkrieg going to be starting off the second phase ban, getting rid of that show. Definitely a lot of respect there, but more importantly, they don't want that hard lockdown, which I would assume that at some point, Pasti Menang might actually whip out the Kaja. Again, very popular pick from yesterday as well. Maybe gonna overlap into here today.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a Ruby ban as well. Like, there's also many of all these other tanks out there that can put up quite some impact. Now, what's left available is probably going to be a Kufra if they really want to go for it. But then again, maybe more of a supportive role when you actually go in for Kufra isn't going to be the best option on the table. But then again, there's also Jawhead that they can go for, and that's where Linars goes in for the Jawhead.
See, that's the thing. It was between Jawhead or Popol and Kupal. They needed some way to either harass or hard lock down somebody to kind of set up the play. And the same goes for Pasti Menang. They don't have that hard engager no more. They've got a Matilda, they've got the Harley, they've got Sun as well, which means one of the 3 roles have been filled, which is going to be mid, support, and jungle. Side laners, Lapu Lapu, all right, now they've got a bigger opportunity to say, hey, if I can land a stun on multiple people, we're going to have a free way in, and Sun can start stacking up that damage early. And they're even locking in a Beatrix for even more early game pressure.
Okay, I love seeing myself some of all these Beatrix because her damage can just go off the charts. Like, sometimes you just can't predict once you got those 3 items up available, and then suddenly you just see a chunk of your health bar just melt off just like that, and I guess that's what Ryu wants to do.
And well, don't forget about the new items like War Axe, because especially with Nibiru, her little SMGs that shoot multiple times, you can actually stack up War Axe really, really fast, getting that extra bit of penetration for each one of those stacks, extra damage, as well as movement speeds once you reach the max stacks.
That's right, and just to perhaps stop some of all these members of Pasti Menang to go in for some snowbally plays. That's where the Divine Judgment will come in from the Kaya, so that she can just go ahead to lock somebody down. But ideally, to catch that Harley is going to take a whole lot of effort, especially when you have Matilda, who's going to be very disruptive coming into the team fights with the Circling Eagle as well. So, to me, it's still kind of 50-50 on some of this draft, and I just really want to see what goes down on game 1.
Well, I'm leaning more towards Blitzkrieg, mainly because they have like 3 brain-dead button ultimates where you just look at the guy, you press the button, and it just does magic, You lock the person down. Pretty simple. Kaja, Saber, Jawhead, all 3 of these guys don't really have to worry too much. I'm not surprised that Linares is going to go on the Jawhead. He is the playmaker. He is the team captain, so not only is he giving direction, but he's setting up the play, which makes his job a little easier. But if you look over to Pasti Menang, right, that is a lot of early game damage, you know? Lapu Lapu is great at level 4, but Matilda, Harley, Beatrix, they just dominate their lanes. They harass people constantly. So 3 level 4, I would say Pasti Menang probably has a little bit more control. However, every level after 4, it's going to be a struggle against anti-Blitzkrieg.
That's right, and we will move directly into the Land of Dawn for Game 1 here in the Creator Games Rise to Greatness. AK Gaming already started off with some good harassment on top of Ace, while Linares is getting invaded. He's just going to yoink Panda away. Get off of my buff, I tell you that.
Yeah, he still has Retribution, so it's not too bad. But we're already seeing First Blood on the bottom of the map. Ooh, Ryu doing Key really dirty there. Playing the Beatrix exactly how you expect it to be, but Linares getting 1 HP survives. AK Gaming is doing a great job at consistently harassing the jungle, and even so, putting more abuse on the supports.
Yeah, and I guess that he did put in quite some dire effort just to try to steal the buff away, and being pretty much lucky to survive that. It's just the first blood for now for Pasti Menang. Meanwhile, Ace gets himself pretty much of a solid start at the very least, as they will look to rotate in towards the enemy lines. And might just be up for this sort of surprise. Alina, once again, making himself no, but here comes AK Game.
Ryu already doing some good damage. Linares so far away, gets collapsed by Panda here. Key's not level 4, but He's got to run in his human form. He is so weak here as the rest of Pasti Menang go in for the full dive to secure the kill onto Key as well. Very early game presence from Pasti Menang. I didn't expect it to be so fast, but they've got the gank timings down.
Yeah, and not only that, they do it so cleanly as well. Panda walks away with so little health. Oh, here comes Yurg getting Divine Judgment straight to the face. Flicker being popped as he does have a wave waiting for him, but Linares is already in position. So I don't really expect him to be able to survive all too long. Just buying enough time. Hopefully the Matilda shows up.
Oh no!
Go in for the flight.
Oh no, Matilda didn't get there in time, and unfortunately they lose the Lapu Lapu, but reinforcements have arrived. Fast team on the run here, but here's the dangerous part about Sun, right? When he's level 4, yes, he can create a good amount of doppelgangers. However, you have no real way to control them. And you want to use Sun in a way where you're throwing your doppelgangers, you're taking aggro from the tower to set up these bigger dives. Now, AK Gaming, he is playing with fire here. He's standing around Linares for a good majority of the time with Hanzo nearby. Is that ideal? Not really, because you don't know if there's that one extra person waiting in the jungle, making sure that as soon as AK Gaming is going to get ejected, he could be giving over some gold.
Yeah, this is the risky part that they're willing to take, but meanwhile, over Bombstar, 2 versus 1! A killing spree goes down, but Ace will still survive nonetheless.
Nibiru's ult, that's what happens if you're that close. Oh, wait, hold on. Deadly Magic already coming out as Mixtree is trying to get a good kill onto Ace. Even Flame Shot as well with the help of AK Gaming with the Soul Bloom. That was ensuring the kill confirm on to Ace. Now, in terms of junglers, right? Panda 2-0, Ace 1-2, both level 6. However, Hanzo has the fastest clear speed in the game. AK Gaming now getting ejected on 4. Yin Yang overturn didn't fall. The timing from Zamzigot just ever so slightly off.
Yeah, and of course it could get a little bit better from here onwards. Anti-Blitzkrieg down in terms of goal numbers, but they're willing to actually pick up some risks of a fight, and they are now focusing on the turtle, where Pasti Menang has already started with for the moment. Fast team. He's going to be over on the back of the turtle. He might just be able to secure a steal.
Panda taking a good amount of damage. However, here comes Ace. Unfortunately, Retribution fight won by Pasti Menang as they're going for the full-on engage. Divine Judgment as well. Unstoppable Force doesn't connect before the damage is done. Panda gets to walk away for free. Ace is doing a really great job, but they trade 1 for 1, 2 for 3. Here comes a triple sweep coming in from Key. He gets the kill. Deadly Magic is gonna pop. Panda is on the run. Fast team should be able to secure the kill. No! Ring of Judgment did not connect. Panda Panda makes it over the wall. Man, the Sun rework definitely is a game changer.
I love it. Now he's so much more viable, and just look at how many times he goes in for all these fights and still walk away with life. It's a 2-0-4 Sun that we're talking about here. Wow. Lunars going in for a chase. Ryu will probably be let off for now.
Well,
Beatrix is so self-sustainable as the marksman.
Yeah, I mean, again, let's look at the item build here. As you can see, Beatrix already building the Dreadnought armor to maximize on that armor so that even if Key lands, a couple of his shurikens, a couple of his spinning blades on her, that the armor reduction isn't going to put her at negative or even -0, making sure that she can survive a little longer. Ace coming in here for an opportunity to get onto Yor, but I think it's more for information as Lunars tries to open up the map, gets hit by the deadly magic. I don't think anything is going to happen here, but let's look down over towards the mid to bottom side because, again, Beatrix continuing to push, forcing Key to always maintain the lane.
Yeah, I just love the sort of rotations coming out from Pasti, Menang, and Blitzkrieg. Does have a whole lot of discipline as well, not to pull the trigger when it's not exactly the right moment, or else you just have to pay the price. They're already kind of behind. It's just about 3,000 for the moment, so they really have to contest for the next turtle. Oh boy, a little bit of damage being done, but Ace will just be able to return back into his original position. Now, AK Gaming tries to zone them all off, understanding that there is potential threat coming in. So just going to be having the Sun to start things off.
Sun can easily solo this, so everybody is looking to kind of just hold their own. Ryu, he needs to start turning around with his ultimate. Here comes Sun trying to join in on towards the fight. They figure out their first kill onto Ace and AK Gaming, but Sun, there's just too many bodies there. Zamzigod can't take on all of them. Oh wait, Panda, is it the right one? No, it is not the doppelganger. Which one's the doppelganger? Which one's the real man? And it looks like Panda is going to take away the purple buff in the meantime, despite the chaos, only losing 1 for 1 in the process. They obtain the turtle as well. Nicely done for Pasti Menang.
Yeah, they're doing things so calculatively well, and just look at them go. They just secure so many objectives one after another, and they're just looking for the mid-tier 1 if they could actually get their hands on. But Key is going to stop them on their tracks. AK Gaming now getting triple sweep!
Oh, wait, no way! AK Gaming actually surviving that with 1 HP. Does get a little bit of heal from the Soul Boom, and especially with the enhancements, especially from the Blessings, actually, coming in from the new support items combined with the boots. It is working out great. Beatrix continuing to hard push down that bot side. I did see her just buy a Blade of Despair, which would explain the damage. But here comes Yor getting chucked on over, but Yor, he's considering engaging, but the rest of his team will not be able to follow up under the turret.
Yeah. He's a Lapu after all. He could definitely soak it all up. But oh! That positioning coming in from AK Gaming, and he gets punished for it. Lunars goes in with a perfect ejector, but Ace is making sure that they not only get information, try to do a little bit of damage, but it only going to take a mixery for a tad bit. Look at the shove though over the top side. This is looking pretty well for Pasti Menang.
We say that, but Lunars is already going in. Ejector on towards that. Beatrix double locking her down. No way she was getting out of that. Ryu goes down so fast. That's the thing. Even though Pasti Menang wants to be really aggressive, Anti-Blitzkrieg has the tools to punish them if they get, they start overextending themselves. They walk a little bit too far. They're caught off all isolated by themselves. All of these situations can be put into Anti-Blitzkrieg's favor.
That's right, and I'm just looking at Blitzkrieg. If they were to actually continue with this sort of tempo, they will eventually lose out. Just look at their skilling. Like, not many of them really can have a huge impact hit in the late game. Burnout getting picked up. This might just be a solo kill. And finally, they do get 1 kill in the back, but that will be in exchange for a turtle.
Now, Anti-Blitzkrieg coming back into this game, catching up on the kill score. It's 13-9 right now, and that's the thing. When I mentioned that Pasti Menang should be able to control the early game, I was right. But however, every level after 4, it's going to get more and more difficult until you reach the later stages of the game.
Now, of course, it would definitely take quite a long time for them to be able to actually get some of the items up, especially when they are behind. Now, I'm just hoping to see, a chain reaction coming in with Anti-Blitzkrieg really going in for certain fallouts, because for now, yeah, they're just waiting on the Kaja and skill which this is the triple sweep that will secure the killing spree for Key.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can't be walking around the river line as if you own it. It's just too dangerous. But Panda, he's throwing in the doppelgangers. Oh, Fast Team, he should die to the deadly magic. That is so unlucky for Fast Team. He didn't even get to use his ult. Just came back up as well. I'm sure he was looking for a play to make.
Yeah, and I think that is definitely tough for him to even make the right call to actually do so. But they're now contesting for buff, and Panda, he's being stuck over the corner wall, but that's just only going to be a little bit of a doppelganger. Oh, look at Ryu, though. Just busted them down and melted them like butter for that double.
Oh my goodness, when you have the motors, it is just so strong, especially when you need that AoE. And it's arguably considered under crowd control because it does slow you a little bit, but regardless, it just does so much damage when you have this kind of a build onto Beatrix right now with the Dreadnought armor and as well as the Blade of Despair. I didn't see her purchase anything as of yet. I could be wrong on this one, so hopefully we get to see the item list real soon.
Yeah, we'll definitely take some time on that. Meanwhile, tier 2 mid lane will be crushed perfectly on time. Just 5 seconds more on the clock. That's where Lord will arrive to the scene. But anti-Blitzkrieg, they're not really in the best of position to actually go into face check. Speaking of face check here, they do spot out your.
That's not all. Ryu is trying to slow down the fight as Linares is right in front again. Beatrix, bad positioning, getting hit by the Divine Judgment, dies anyway to the lightning bombs that continue to push on that front, but it's not looking good. Yor looking for an ultimate, doesn't get the stun just yet. He's holding it up, finally uses it onto Zamziga, but he manages to get on out of there. It was not enough. 2 for 2 so far. Panda is losing his doppelgangers. He's on the run as Yor. He's done for at this point, but anti-Blitzkrieg cannot close the distance. Harley waiting for an opportunity to get onto this high. Oh, yeah, he found it. Instantly. Mix it. You can't do that. That's such big brains, knowing that the Hanzo has a human fort hidden somewhere.
He's got the perfect numbers. 5-1-5, I tell you, Dad. Meanwhile, this is going to be the Lord. Linares just arrived, but a little bit too late. Nothing he can do as they don't really have the retribution up available, especially when Ace just got sniped.
Yep. Oh, it's sad to see, but this game is really a back and forth. Despite the 6K goal lead in favor of Pasti Menang, at any point in time, Blitzkrieg, anti-Blitzkrieg, they could turn this fight around because that's how powerful their ultimates are.
Yeah, and I think that this is getting a little bit out of hand already now. Hitting it towards the 12-minute mark, we're seeing about 7,000 to 8,000 in terms of difference when it comes down to the goal. While there is the Lord marching into the base, but it won't be able to actually land any sort of blow or charge over on towards the inhibitor turret. But over on the other side, it seems like Pasti Menang has been able to secure even more. And anti-Blitzkrieg just have to pull up to perfect defense.
Yeah, I mean, anti-Blitzkrieg, they don't mind giving away their tier 2s, but they kind of want to just hold the fort down on these inhibitor turrets. If they try to go out, it's a little difficult to try and contest for jungle. But hey, regardless, it is free-flowing minions all the way right up to your base as long as Pasti Menang doesn't look to freeze them towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, and now Ace is just going to, of course, go scout out for a tad bit. AK isn't even worried as this Matilda just goes in as their front line, but Panda sends in a clone. And all that he could do is just probably keep anti-Blitzkrieg all company for the moment. No major objectives available, but all Pasti Menang has to do is just juggle the wave pressure perfectly, and then they could opt to open a lane up.
And I think at this point, Pasti Menang really needs to stop hard pushing the waves. They need anti-Blitzkrieg to come out of the map. And AK Gaming now, he does see the Hanzo. Not that it matters too much because it's only in the spirit form, but Linares is nearby to look for a punish. He's already setting up for the ejector. He's got the smart missiles ready, hoping to catch somebody off. But again, Mixery does have some good game sense, poker trick to make sure he clears out that rush. Key looking for an opportunity to get in on it, but he can't keep targeting Ryu all day long because of that Purify.
Yeah, now we finally get a little bit of a itemization on the board. Malefic Roar is already up online, as well as the Blade of Despair for the Beatrix. You know, she's just going to be pretty much scary for now. Oh, what's scary is that Divine Judgment lands on top of AK Gaming. I guess that's too much of an overzealous play that she's trying to even get herself into a very awkward position, and it has to be punished.
Yep, and that's not the only person who might get punished here, as Nas gets the ejector onto Yor so far, but nobody can really catch up to them, and they realize that nobody is really visible on the map except for arguably Harley, so it's better not to risk it for the biscuit.
And, you know, there's a whole lot to munch on, but Panda usually munch on bamboos, but instead, he's going to be keeping his way slim by getting the Thunderbell.
That Thunderbell is going to hurt so badly. He's got the anti-QRS, he's got the War Axe, he's literally got everything going for him right now. Panda at his full build, at maximum power. Let's see how this Sun is going to go with this. Really, well, personally, I like the hybrid build compared to the pure tank build or the pure damage build. At least you get the best of both worlds.
Like, this is more of a way that you can still ensure that you can carry, especially when, you know, the Sun has already got a pretty darn huge lead coming in towards the early game, and you just really want to capitalize on it.
This isn't the only thing they want to capitalize on, as Hanzo again using his spirit demon form to scout out enemy troops. But now here comes AK Gaming getting ejected backwards as Linars. He's finding these picks, but again, they can't really hard stop them, or isn't going to get the support he needs just yet. Now, this Lord is going to be important. Linars tries to open up the map. Yor sees him. The ejector comes out on towards Panda's side. Key holding up his ultimate until further notice, but Haze, he is going to hold strong, get the Devour on towards that purple buff spirit form to maybe try and take somebody out on towards the left-hand side. But again, and Pasti, Menang, hold strong. Like, look at Ryu. He's not moving. AK Gaming, he's just taking his time. He's not worried. Panda just continuously using the doppelgangers to be frustrating, with Mixery holding on to that pixel brush in case anybody gets close.
Here comes Ace, though. He might just actually afford a steal, but this is where it all comes. All hands on deck. A kill comes right through at the rest of Pasti Menang. They're marching right in. They're just baiting them with the lure.
This bait is really scary, though. It's going back and forth, pulling back. Yor gets a kill onto Linars. That's actually a good opportunity as they try to turn this fight around. Ace getting some great damage so far, but it doesn't matter when the human form has been revealed. Panda finds the target he was looking for.
Oh boy, it gone from tough to downhill slide for the likes of Blitzkrieg. They tried to commit to it, and all they got out of it was just taking down Ryu, while Pasti Menang was so patient with Lord. I expected them to actually secure it first and then take on a full-blown fist fight, but instead, this has paid off way more than they do in dividends.
Yep, but that doesn't mean that they're completely out of the game, because we're coming to the much later stages. 17 minutes into the game, 55k compared to 47k. A lot of their cores probably already have their max items. So in terms of scaling right now, it's about dead even, I would say. I do think that, you know, Zamzi has to be very efficient with that yin-yang overturn. If he can get like a 4-man yin-yang overturn, he might be able to blow up 2 people at a minimum.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be pretty hard, especially when they're so slippery as well. But they're looking for Fast Team, and he just gets blown up. And that's where the top inhib has already opened up as well. Meanwhile, look at AK Gaming.
They're going to continue pushing on forward. They're looking to try to end this game here. Do they have enough? The immortality comes to pop on through as Ryu knows that he's going to die. But Lord now coming crash. Ace wanting an opportunity to get in on this crystal. They go in with a triple sweep. Doesn't work out too well, unfortunately. He doesn't even use it. And that is the game.
What a beautiful play coming out of both sides. But Pasti Menang, wow, they knew how to just establish that lead, hold on to it, and played with so much discipline that they have been able to secure this game one. You know, it definitely wasn't all too easy overall, because the Zhenhua is looking to be able to actually come back from that sort of deficit heading in towards that mid game. But that fight over on the Lord, a little bit too taxing on them, because they don't really have that clear answer on who exactly to actually get first, because they don't really have the perfect position for all that vision, and denied every single form of entry, but it was still a really good take overall.
Yeah, no, it was. I think their biggest problem is that they couldn't deal with the Sun, because at the end of the day, the Sun was the main damage dealer on top of Beatrix, but Beatrix, you know, she likes to buy a lot of time, makes sure that she gets her immortality. She made sure she took Purify as well, because she knows for a fact that all this single target lockdown coming in from anti-Blitzkrieg is going to be targeted at her, because again, how are you going to